A very good evening to one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pradigna. My name is Dr. Shyam Mohan and I'll be host today. So we are going to start the introductory session on the Panchakarma, the next session or next program in Pradigna. So let's go directly to the slides. Thank you all for coming in early today. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is a program that we are going to start next week. And this is the session starting from 2nd to, sorry, today is the session that is a 2nd. And we will give you all the details about the program so that you can make an informed decision later on. We will also be forming a WhatsApp group today. In the chat, Dr. Rahul will be posting a link to a WhatsApp chat, which you can click and join, and where you will get all the details about this program before, so that you can make again informed decision. As you can see, Dr. Rahul has posted something in the chat, and you can use that to join that. So next slide, please. So this was the first program that Pradigna ever conducted. That was on cosmetology, and we had all these teachers for that. This was again the second program that we conducted was again Kerala Panchakarma, and this is the second time that we are conducting Kerala Panchakarma because a lot of people were demanding those about Kerala Panchakarma. So next, please. Yeah, Agnikarma was our third course. Next. Fourth course was on Uttaravasti. This was a fifth course, which was an advanced level cosmetology. Next, please. Next one was Vastikarma. Again, this was taken by a lot of faculties. Ashna was another program which was quite different from other programs. This was on clinical methods and prescriptions in Ayurveda. Next, please. This was Subalyam program, which is on Kaumara Bhritya, and we had eminent scholars for that as teachers. Ritu Samiksha was a program again conducted by us, and we had a lot of teachers, good teachers from here. Dr. Pradeep also is there, who will be taking this also. Rudiram was the next program, which is currently going on. I was one of the faculties, and Dr. Alex also was another faculty. Next, please. Sparsham is an ongoing program that is in Pradigna, which is on dermatology, Ayurvedic dermatology, and we had again wonderful teachers for that. And come to Kerala Panchakarma, which currently we are having right now. And I have to tell you this, that this is the one thing that we try our level best to find good teachers and to bring them to this platform so that everyone can learn. Nowadays, again, as you all know, Corona is getting a little bit stronger, and we have to be much more prepared for the same. And this is how we prepare. We hone our skills, we sharpen our tools, and be ready for the next thing that might happen. So we have got all these eminent faculties, and I myself is a faculty here. So let me go directly to the topic. So each and every teacher who will be coming here will be giving you a detail about what all topics they will be covering in this program. So this just of the program is 30-day course will be there, and we have the course fee as a 3 course fee. We have this is the first time that we are coming out with this. We have 3 course fees. It is for as you can see on the screen. I'm not completely. It is not completely visible, Dr. Rahul. Yeah, so we will be sending the brochures and everything, and we will give you the details. Do not worry after this. So we will be starting the program on the 10th of May. So we have one more week to start the program, and it will be there for till 9th of June. Okay, the timing will be 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Okay, so I'll give you all the details later on. This is a feedback from all the participants who have participated in our program, and thanks to all of them. Thanks to all the good support they have given us, the suggestions they have given us, and we are taking every suggestion. And in fact, this the 3 prize for the course was also a suggestion from the participants, and that is why we are doing this. So thanks to all of your support. Please do share this if any one of you, if your colleagues or friends are doing PMS, if you think they will be benefited from this course, please do share this All the details will be given in the group as Dr. Rahul is posting in the group. In that group, you'll find all the details. So let me call upon the first teacher that we have here, Dr. Anand DA. He's also my classmate. I have to tell you that. So I'll just give you a brief introduction of Dr. Anand before I hand it over to him, and he will be introducing his topics. So Dr. Anand DA did his BMS from Sri Jayendra Surya Ayurveda College, Chennai, 2008. MD Panchakarma from SDM College of Udupi, Ayurveda, Udupi, in 2013. A yoga instructor course from V. Vyas, Bangalore. Joined as assistant professor in Vishnu Ayurveda College, Shornur in the year 2014. Presently working as associate professor and HOD in the Department of Panchakarma, Vishnu Ayurveda Medical College, Shornur. He's a managing director, Niranjanam Ayurveda, Ottapala. Chief Consultant at Karuna Foundation, a charitable trust at Palakkad also. So without further ado, let me call upon Dr. Anand to give his introduction of the topic. Over to you, Dr. Anand.
Yeah, hello, Shyam. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Please.
Yeah, okay, yeah. A very warm evening to one and all. First of all, let me thank Dr. Shyam Mohan, my friend and classmate, as well as the team Pradijna for organizing such a wonderful course. As we all know, since induction, the team Pradijna works hard to organize and execute several courses, which were very useful for the students' fraternity and as well as the practitioners. I was so happy and honored to be the part of its first version of Panchakarma course, and now again the second one also. Thanks a lot, Shyam and the team. So now let me introduce the topics which I will be dealing with. Can I share the screen, Shyam?
Yes, you can.
I think it's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the three topics will be dealt in this 30 days of course. The first is principles and practice of Virechana, and the second is basics of Basti, and third one will be the Kriya Krama in Parkinson's disease. In a broad spectrum, neurodegenerative diseases also will be dealt. Let me give a small introduction. Like Shodhana and Panchakarma, we all know that there is a difference between Shodhana as well as Panchakarma. And nowadays, there is a growing interest in cleansing therapies. Before, in olden days, like people come to us and tell, we have undergone Panchakarma. Merely, they will have taken a massage and they think that it is Panchakarma. So that's not Panchakarma. Nowadays, people are aware of what is Panchakarma, what is Shodhana, and they are interested in doing the cleansing therapy. So we practitioners should be well equipped for doing this treatment, and it has to be done in a high aim, because it's not just a cleansing therapy. Shodhana as well as Panchakarma doesn't mean a cleansing therapy. It is multi-dimensional too. Our text says like Alpe means you go for Langana, Ubhavasa Rubi, etc. And Madhyame means Langana Padana. There comes the importance of Shamana Ushadis. But Prabhuta Avastha, you have to go for Dosha Vasechana itself, no other way. And that's the limitation of the Shamana Ushadis. Many of the cases what we encounter in our clinical practice falls under this Bahudosha Avastha because of the day-to-day lifestyle, food style, everything. It is Bahudosha Avastha only. And we have 5 methods of treatment modalities, and selection of it is very important. And another doubt what we face is whether hospitalization is needed for this Panchakarma or not. Whether all Panchakarmas hospitalization needed, or certain Panchakarmas can be done OPD level itself or not. Because we have to clearly have an idea that if it has to be hospitalized, no other way, we have to hospitalize and do the treatment. If not, we can do it in OPD level too. So that has to be clearly known by the practitioner before rendering into the Shodhana therapy, as well as the Kriya Kramas, which can be done in OPD level or not. That has to be learned well. And some other common issues what we face while doing Shodhana, especially my topic is Virechana, maybe like pain in abdomen. The patient will complain that the pain in abdomen during the Shodhana, or burning sensation, or vomiting in the first phase of Virechana, on the last phase of Virechana. So whether it is normal or abnormal, you have to identify. Whether it is normal, then you can leave it. Whether it is abnormal, then you have to encounter, you have to treat the case. So which medicines has to be given? How can you manage the situation? That has to be clearly known by the practitioner before introducing the Shodhana. Another thing is the importance of Koshta and Agni in Virechana. That has to be clearly studied by the practitioner until and unless you can't fix the dose of the Virechana Aushadhi as well as Vasti. And order of doing Panchakarma. That's another topic, like from Vamana, Virechana, Vasti, Nasya, that's the order, Rakta Mokshana, that's the order told in the text. So whether that order has to be followed or not, or can we do Virechana before Vamana? If you are doing Virechana before Vamana, what is the complication we can come across? So that has to be clearly known. And is there any situation there, Vasti has to be done before Virechana? The order is Virechana, after that Vasti, but certain conditions there, Vasti has to be done mandatorily before doing Virechana. So what specification has to be taken upon? That has to be clearly known by the practitioner, and he has to do the Vasti before doing Virechana, or else you will end up in Adiyoga or Ayoga. Another issue is that 2 Panchakarmas can be done at a time. That is also a question or a doubt about practitioners encounter. Whether Vasti and Nasya can be done on the same day, morning Nasya and evening Vasti, or morning Vasti, evening Nasya, that can be done or not. Or time of administration of Nitya Virechana. Some people give it in the night time, bedtime. Some people give in the morning early hours. So which is the actual time of giving Nitya Virechana Aushadhi? And another doubt is that classical Virechana, after Snehabana, 3 days, after 3 days, whether it has to be given in the early morning or in the mid, that has to also be clearly known. Whether it is Pitta Kala, you have to give the medicine, or the patient has to purge during the Pitta Kala. That's some doubts what practitioners come across. Another doubt is that Ridu Shodhana. Text says great things about Ridu Shodhana. So if the Ridu is unfavorable, can you go with the Shodhana or not? So the patient is indicated for Vamana, but the Ridu is not favorable. So can we do it or not? That's another doubt what we come across. And the benefits of Shodhana as well as the limitations of Shodhana has to be clearly known by the practitioner. Benefits means it reaches till the Saptama Dhatu. So even Shukra is cleansed by the Shodhana. So that in infertility treatment, you have to do Shodhana before giving the Vajikarana Aushadhi. So that has to be clearly studied and known and experienced by the practitioner. And another thing is that events during Shodhana, whether it is normal or abnormal, and how to manage it. Disease specific Shodhanas, because for example, psoriasis, you have plague, guttate, scalp, etc. Which Shodhana has to be done, whether it is Vamana or Virechana, that has to be clearly known. And Vadarakta types are there, Uttana and Gambhira. So Virechana has to be done Uttana Avastha or Gambhira Avastha. Such manner, you have n number of doubts while handling a patient which are posted for Shodhana. So all these, I think that the whole faculty will manage, or the whole faculty will do a great job to clear all your doubts in this 30 days course. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anand, for the lovely introduction. Thank you for that. And as Dr. Anand said, we will be giving you, detailed, explanation about all the Panchakarma procedures, and we will be having demo videos that will be helpful for you to do this procedures at your clinic also. And this is our ultimate aim, that we, make you knowledgeable enough so that you'll be able to do it at your centers, whether you are starting, or if you're even if you just want to refresh what you have already learned. This is the right platform for you. So Dr. Rahul will be posting some of the links to one WhatsApp chat, and you can click on the chat and join that WhatsApp chat, and there we'll be posting all the details about the program later on. So if you have missed something, if you think you want to learn more about this program, that is how you can learn. Let us go to the next teacher, and we have one of the senior faculties of this program. We have Dr. K. Murali with us. So I'll be introducing Dr. Murali and handing over to him so that he can introduce his topic. Dr. K. Murali is the son of renowned Ayurveda Acharya Padma Bhushan Vaidya Bhushanam Sri Raghavat Tirumalpad. His bachelor degree from Vaidyaratnam Ayurveda College and masters from Government Ayurveda College Trivandrum. Has recently retired from Tripunithara Ayurveda College as medical superintendent after 32 years of government service. He has also achieved a bachelor's degree in Sanskrit and diploma in rehabilitation and awardee of Atreya Award for Best Teacher in Ayurveda Faculty by Government of Kerala in 2014. He has published many articles and done many talks in media. He has shown an exemplary service leading the COVID care center as Tripunithara Ayurveda Hospital. From here, he retired, and he's been a part of our family, Pradigna family, for a long time. So over to you, sir, for your introduction.
Good evening,
Yes.
my dear organizers and the aspirants of this online course on Panchakarma. I will be dealing with the clinical experiences on Virechana. As you know, the theory and practice, of course, we may learn in the collegiate classes, but how it should be applied in different diseases is a matter of much difference. So I will be dealing with you how what are the important or common Virechana combinations and how each of these are administered in different diseases. What outcome you can expect. All these will be my subject. I think it will be very much of interest to all of you. The last session also, the last batch also, it was received very well, and there were several doubts which I also gained some insight from your questions and answering. So welcome to my class also as in the schedule. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful introduction. So, sir is one of the senior faculties, and as I told you before, one of the teachers who have been supporting us throughout, long. So, again, I just want to repeat, Dr. Rahul will be posting a link to a WhatsApp chat in the chat box, so you can click on that and join a WhatsApp group where you'll be getting all the details, further details of this program. Again, I just want to tell you, we will be having in this program, we'll be having WhatsApp groups. We'll be creating WhatsApp groups with the teachers so that even after you start doing the procedure, when you are having doubts, that doubts can be cleared whenever the teachers find time. They will be answering all the questions in the group, and you'll be able to start the procedure. So this will be like a hand-holding procedure or hand-holding for the participant who was willing, who wants to start Panchakarma Center on their own. Let us go to the next teacher. We have Dr. Praveen BS, and let me introduce Dr. Praveen before I hand it over. Dr. Praveen BS got his BAMS degree from Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubli, Karnataka. He did his MD from SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. Currently, he is working as the professor and HOD Department of Panchakarma, Alwas Medical College and Hospital, Modabadri. He worked as physician in Ayurvedic Chikitsalayam. He has also worked as assistant professor in Department of Panchakarma in SDM College of Ayurveda, Hassan. He has done certificate course Advanced Yoga from Arsha Yoga Vidyapeetham. He has done almost 30 publications of various national and international journals. He has received Agnivesha Award, Pattabhisheka Award, Best Paper Award. He has attended various workshops. He has also reviewed journals, has attended over 18 CMEs. He has done TV and radio interviews for various channels. So over to Dr. Praveen to introduce this topic. Welcome to Pradigna, sir.
Good evening.
Please,
Am I audible?
yes,
Am I
sir,
audible?
yes, sir, you are.
Yes. Good evening to all the participants in this group. It's my pleasure to get attached with the team Pratigna for the second time. First time we did the Vasti Karma, the sessions on Vasti Karma, and was very fruitful, and it was very good. So many good faculty members are giving their knowledge to the young budding doctors. One thing I would like to share here is that one point, very important point, is that Panchakarma is a super specialty subject. Most of the times we do forget that Panchakarma can be done by anyone. In the academic setup, what happens is that just we give a glimpse on the procedures. Most of the times the students are important, they are interested in just by hearting the things and knowing the things, and just it's a glimpse of the things. It is not a complete practical orientation, as well as it is not the complete picture of what the treatments are carried out, and how the treatments are carried out, what are the difficulties which are being confronted by the various physicians. So in this regard, I congratulate the team Pratijna for bringing up with this sort of wonderful platform to know more things about practical oriented coaching for those aspirants who just want to upgrade their knowledge. Those who are the postgraduate students, they can upgrade their knowledge. At the same time, the undergraduate students, they can just get a very good glimpse on the practical oriented things, as well as the practical difficulties and other things. At the same time, the other specialty persons, like persons from Shalya stream or Shalakya stream or any other stream, they also get well versed in using the Panchakarma in their clinical practice. This is what I feel is that the very important thing is that we just we have streamlined certain branches like Eye Chikitsa separate and Shalya, Shalak and other things. But the thing is that the treatment Panchakarma is utilized in every branch of Ayurveda, and this is one of the very important treatment which makes the difference between the other treatment as well as the Ayurveda. So Panchakarma is a heart of the total system of Ayurveda. So I congratulate the team Pratijna for bringing up or giving this platform to the aspirants to know about the Panchakarma and practical oriented things related to that of Panchakarma. And it's my pleasure to join this session also. And I'll be taking 2 sessions basically, as Panchakarma is classified into 3 basic classifications, that is Purva Karma, Pradhana Karma and Paschat Karma. Most of the times people do think that the Pradhana Karma, if you do it perfectly, that is well and good. But in order to get the Samyak Lakshana, this is where the problem lies, that the Panchakarma is the only treatment protocol. I would say it is most of the times. Others have got the complications, but Panchakarma do have complications. So that's why the Acharyas also have given this glimpse, as well as they have given a caution that Panchakarma has to be done only till the Samyak Lakshana. The Atiyoga and Ayoga will lead into problems, and it may be an acute problem, it may be the chronic problem. In the due course of time, the person may land in complications. So these are very important issues, and in order to get only Samyak Lakshana, it is important to have very perfect and correctly done Purva Karma. In that Purva Karma, one of the very important as well as most confusing and most difficult Purva Karma is Snehapana. So when we are speaking about Snehapana, Shodhananga Snehapana, is there are so much of the differences of opinion related to that of time of administration and the dosage fixation. How do you assess the patient, and how long the treatment has to be continued? And there are misunderstanding as well as misconcepts as well, that it can be done like 1 day, 2 day, you do it, and the namesake, the treatments are done. Most of the times, the namesake, the treatment of Snehapana is being done. So what I'll be doing in this 2 sessions is that I'll be dedicating to that of the practical oriented understanding of this Shodhananga Snehapana, as well as the selection of various varieties of Sneha in the clinical practice, and whatever the complications do arise during the treatment, that how you can go ahead with managing those treatments. And most of the some of the very peculiar problems are there, like the menstruating lady during the menstruation or during the Snehapana. If the lady menstruates, what has to be done? If the person purges, what has to be done? If the patient vomits during the Snehapana, the aversion is there. There are so many problems, so many practical issues. And one more aspect is that when a patient is already diabetic, can the diabetic medicine or oral hypoglycemics, can it be given during the Snehapana, or can it be stopped? Oral antihypertensive drugs, as well as the other varieties of the treatment which is going on in that patient. How do you manage these conditions? So I'll be concentrating on all these practical issues in these 2 sessions related to that of Shodhananga Snehapana. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Praveen sir, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. And as sir was saying, we will be trying to give you a complete picture about Panchakarma. We'll be giving you demos, and yes, the recordings will be also available. And this time we are giving the recordings for 1 year complete, so that even after you start after completing this course, if you are interested, you can go back to this session and you can refresh your memories. Usually what happens is you might have done your BMS and MD, and you might be you might be stuck in OPD practice alone, or some one specialty of Ayurveda you will be sticking on to, because that was the maximum number of cases that you got in your clinic. But here if you start learning, it will help you to progress into other areas also. So, and Panchakarma is something that it is our strongest suit, and we have to always keep this at the peak. Now we have Dr. Remya Alekkel. So let me introduce Dr. Remya. She is also one of the faculties who are with us since the beginning. So let me introduce Dr. Remya before I hand it over to her. Dr. Remya Alekkel currently working as an associate professor and HOD at Department of Panchakarma, and she is the vice principal of Ashtanga Ayurveda Chikitsalayam and Vidyapeetham, Kutanad, Palakkad district, Kerala. She is also a senior visiting specialist at National Touch Ayurveda Specialty Center, Kannur. She had done her BMS from VPSV Ayurveda College, Kottakkal, followed up with an MD in Panchakarma from Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum. She is a research person for Panchakarma for the Institute of Management and Governance, Government of Kerala, and had taken many training sessions for government medical officers. So she is a very passionate practitioner of Ayurveda, and she was also one of my colleagues. And hello, Dr. Remya. 1 second. Yes. Dr. Remya.
Hello, am I audible?
Hello. Yes, madam, you are. Over to you. Over to you.
Very good evening to one and all. Namaskaram. So once again, I'm very happy to be with the team Pratigna, because we had an initial session on Panchakarma. I think it was in December, January for the first, and it was a learning experience for all of us. And it was very good to share whatever little knowledge that we have with many doctors all over, and getting feedback, their experiences. So definitely that was a learning experiences as we were all concerned. So now, as far as my topic of discussions in this session would be, before I get into my topic, I think what is, as Dr. Praveen sir had rightly mentioned, Panchakarma basically has to be considered very specific and seriously as a specialty subject itself. Because when we really think of doing a procedure to a patient, it is not just doing a procedure to the patient. We are very well aware that there are many other confounding factors which we as clinicians, we need to work upon. Like when the procedure is done, how the procedure is done, at what time the procedure is done, and at what Samprapti Vishesha the procedure is done. And is the procedure that we select for that particular point in the clinical situation right with respect to the Hetu Vishesha of the disease? It is all these aspects that we need to consider. For example, if I think of doing a Patrapotla Sveda to a patient in a particular Samprapti Avastha, should I go for a Patrapotla Sveda with this much of pressure, or this much of speed, or this much of temperature? So how the procedure is being done on the patient definitely has got a role. Should, when Acharya says for conducting of Virechana, Shleshma Kale Gade Jnatva to Virechana, so Shleshma Kale Gade Jnatva is very important. It is not 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. It is the Shleshma Kala of the body, the physiology of the patient, as well as the Shleshma Kala of the environment. So it is both these things that has to be considered, and the correct time of administrating Virechana Aushadha is that particular avastha when the Shleshma Kala of the patient has been attained. For Vasti, when he says na atibubukshitam as Vasti administration time, madhyane kinjitavrate na atibubukshitam, or madhyane as was said by Susruta, Charaka says it to be abhukte. So the exact physiological status of the patient where the procedure has to be given only will result in the ideal outcome of that particular Kriya Krama. So when exactly we have to give a particular Kriya Krama, the aspect becomes important. And all before that, in a particular Samprapti, which exactly is a particular Kriya Krama, which is most suitable to that particular patient. I think it is this particular point wherein the physician has to be really careful, because it's important as physicians that we give cost effective, safe, most what you call it as the limited specific treatment to the patient. So when a patient comes to us as an IP for almost, or when saying that they have just 7 days or 10 days, it's not that you start with Patra Potla Sveda or Ruksha Sveda, then Abhyangam, then Kaisekam, then Shashtikam, then go for Vasti, all these things that usually happen, especially in this part of Kerala and all. Rather, the specific indicated procedure, if we do in the right way, the response will be much, much, much better. But many a times, it is this particular area which many clinicians are generally misses. And one more area is that I think which in the practice now is generally missed is, it is not, there is no rule of 7 or 14 in Ayurveda. It's not Abhyangam that can be done for 7 days, or Patra Potla does Svedam for 7 days. No, it's 7, then you will stop it. No, it is ultimately the Samyak Lakshanas that we have to observe in the cases to decide whether should we go for this particular process. When should I move from a Ruksha Sveda or a Podikiri or Churna Pinda Sveda to a Drava Sveda or to a Snigdha Sveda? It is depending upon some of the Lakshanas that the patient develop. The Samyak Spinna Lakshana with respect to the Roga itself. And when should I go for from a Kaya Sekam to a Shashtika Pinda Sveda, whether the patient is indicated for that? It is again the Lakshanas that the patient presents. Now, when I give a Vasti to the patient, unless and until I really assess Prasrishta Vinmutra Samiranatvam Ruchi Agni Vridhi Ashe Lagavani Cha Rogo Bashanti Prakriti Stadacha. So the Samyak Niruha Lakshanas, ultimately we cannot decide whether my procedure has given the best outcome as far as the physician is concerned. You give a Vasti and just ask the patient, oh, you have passed motion how many times, 2 or 3 times, then it's okay. No, that's not the thing. We really have to observe what are, otherwise Acharya would not have said about these Samyak Lakshanas. So observing it is with the surgical precision that a physician has to encounter any particular Kriya Krama onto the patients. As we very precisely with respect to the Doshavastha, very precisely with the Bala of the Rogi, very precisely with the Sattva of the Rogi, the specific Kriya Krama and the medicine that we need to use for the Kriya Krama, which again has to be modulated. Should I go for an Abhyangam with Kotanchukadi Thailam, or should I go for an Abhyangam with Sahasradi, or a Karpasyasthadi, or a Kedagi Muladi, or a Pindadailam plus Muruvanna? See all these aspects. So when I select an Abhyangam as a Kriya Krama, then again with the medicine that I have to select in that aspect is again has to be modulated according to the clinical presentation and the physiology of the patient. So it is all these aspects that we need to work out when before exactly deciding upon the procedure of a patient. So with the little what you call it as, the more and more as we experience, the more and more we realize that the more and more we know that we know very little. So the little knowledge that we have with our experience, when we share it, the point probably where we have stopped, from there probably others can start. We need not have more and more clinical experience, and that's very important as a medical fraternity. Like I practice for 10 years, somebody else also, and I realize many things after 10 years. Somebody else also start practicing, and then they realize many truths after 10 years. Okay, and this is going just scattered. So the experiences and all that we have at this particular point, then when if we could share, I think it is the this platform, like platforms like Pratigna has got relevance in that aspect. The little experience or the knowledge that we have in some parts of the country, when we share, definitely all others or we all can grow together. So this platform, I believe, must help all of us and all of you to become a better practitioner, to execute Ayurveda in a much better way. So the areas that I'll be dealing with are a few number of them. First area I'll be dealing with the different kind of Svedas. There I'll it as some specific Kerala specialty treatments like different kind of Drava Svedas. And then again, the Pinda Svedas, different kind of Pinda Sveda, Jambira Pinda Sveda, Patra Potla Sveda, the different varieties that that are in practice. How important is how to prepare the Elakiri or the Patra Potla Sveda, the preparation, right from preparation, and how should the procedure be executed on the body, how the speed, pressure, temperature of the kiri or the potali has to be manipulated with respect to the samprapti. All these things we need to take care. And then Abhyangam, Kayasekam, and one most important area that is very much in clinical practice in the Ayurvedic sector, of course, it is diminishing now, is the Prayoga of Murda Taila or Shiro Abhyanga, which as far as I know is very less in other parts of the country. But again, Murda Taila Prayoga is a potential weapon that an Ayurveda physician has in both as well as curative and what you call it as preventive aspects, because it was a habit in the traditional Vaidyas in Kerala to stop all treatment by deciding a Murtha Taila. We call it as Talakyanna in the patient. So they decide a Murtha Taila to control Shiras, which is the Urdha Moola in the Urdha Bhaga, so that the Tarpaka Kabha, Alojaka Pitta and Pranamayu of Shiras is basically controlled by using different Snigdha Dravya, so that its effect overall the body can be what you call it as manipulated in preventing diseases. So Murda Daila is one area which I'll be dealing. Again, the other two areas are clinical experiences with respect to Amana and the different kinds of basti that we are using clinically and the modulation of dosages and how can we differentiate the differentially apply basti with respect to change in the sneha, taila, and madhu, etc. with respect to koshta of the patient. And then I'll be speaking about a few kind of the local procedures like lepana, because when we say just lepana, how long should a lepa should be applied, how much thick it has to be applied, how many times should a lepa to be applied, all these things are again factors that need to be specific consideration. And then other procedures like urovasti, etc. And finally I'll be I do have a session with respect to the different complications that we have experienced in our practice while different panchakarma, and how can we as such manage it, and what are all the precautions that we really need to take care before administering any procedure, so that any complications, if it happen because of any reason, we are able to tackle it very specifically. And finally, how to set up a panchakarma clinic in the best way, so that in a very cost effective way, we'll be able to help the patient community too, as well as we are also safe on a very feasible way, because we do rather all of us do understand how difficult it is to have a clinical setup in a private settings and then make it viable. That's very important. So I think the whole thing, making Shastra available in the most best way to the patient community in a way that we have the best outcome out of it. So I think may Lord Dhanvantri bless all of us to move towards with this direction in the session. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Ramya, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you for that. As Dr. Ramya told, it is our responsibility to learn more and more and to become strong as a community, as an Ayurvedic community, and we are as strong as our weakest link. So, it is our aim. Every Ayurvedic person's aim. It should be that we learn more and we are apt for the coming challenges ahead of us. And Panchakarma is, as you all know, it is one of the treatment things that we cannot deal without. It is one of the strongest treatments in Ayurveda. If you have just joined us right now, please do not worry. We will be posting all the details in the WhatsApp group that the link to which Dr. Rahul is posting in the chat. And there, if you are going, all the details, all the brochures, all the things will be posted there. And we will be posting this same video, that session right now going on, also there, so that you can, if you have missed something, you can go back and check. And of course, please do forward this to your friends and colleagues who is going to planning to start a Panchakarma center, or just to refresh their knowledge also. They are welcome here. So let me go to the next teacher in our program. We have Dr. Rekha KV, again one of my colleagues. Dr. Rekha KV completed BAMS from Ayurveda Government Ayurveda College Kannur, secured post graduation in MS Shalakya Tantra from Government Ayurveda College Tripunithura, has 5 years of teaching experience in Shalakya Tantra at MBR Ayurveda Medical College Parshinikadavu. Later joined Indian System of Medicine Department of Kerala Government as Specialist Medical Officer Netra. Conducted Drishti project of ISM department for school going children at GAH Iringalakuda. Currently working as Specialist Medical Officer at GAH Dwaraka, Wayanad. So over to Dr. Rekha to introduce her topics. Dr. Rekha.
Sir.
Over to you, madam.
Audible. Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate the team Praditya once again starting such a practical-oriented courses on Kerala Panchakarma. So I had just go through the participant list. So I think most of the participants are outside Keralites, and surely they were not at all exposed to Panchakarma procedures. So the Panchakarma procedures are the most important part while practicing Ayurveda in the clinics. So this course will be beneficial for all the people, all the participants in the group. So coming to my topic, I would like to teach you 2 topics. And my first topic is clinical experience sharing on Nasya Karma. I think you know Nasya is an important Panchakarma and which is an unavoidable part in Urdhva Chaturgada Rogas. So usually in the OPD and IPD, we are regularly practicing Nasya Karma in most of the Netra Rogas like refractive errors and diabetic retinopathy spectrum and other retinal degenerate diseases and all. Also in Karna Rogas like Badhirya, deafness like Karna Rogas and in Nasa Rogas also, Nasa hi Shiraso Dwaram. So Nasa in Nasa Rogas, Nasya is an unavoidable part. And we are getting benefits by Nasya Karma in most of the headache like chronic sinusitis, migraine like trigeminal neuralgia like headache. And so we are regularly practicing Nasya Karma. So in my topic, I would like to cover all the going to teach you the I'm going to share with you my clinical experiences on Nasya Karma along with the case discussions. So which I have treated in my OPD and IPD, I would like to share with you. So the you have to get maximum benefit from by the clinical demonstration classes. And my second topic is Kriya Kalpas used in Shalakya practice. So most of the participants are not at all familiar with the Shalakya Kriya Kalpas. We have Seka, Ashodhana, Anjana, Tarpana, Pudabhaga, and like that many Kriya Karmas which are regularly used in Shalakya procedures. So we have while practicing in our general OPD, we are getting maximum patients from eye diseases, maximum cases of eye diseases like which are varying from simple stye or simple eye pain like diseases and up to blindness like diseases. So we should be thorough with the Shalakya Kriya Karmas. We have to get maximum knowledge in the procedures and other complications in which treatment we have to adopt in which condition we have to select the treatment. So all the topics I have to cover in that topic. So these are the 2 topics I have to cover in this course. So thank you the team Praditya for adding me such a faculty. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha. Thank you. That was Dr. Rekha. We will be posting all the recordings in this same recordings in the WhatsApp group to the link to which Dr. Rahul is posting in the group. If you have any doubts regarding this session, we will be taking few of the questions. You can post in the chat and we will be taking few of the questions if we have time. So please go to the chat and click on the link Dr. Rahul is posting, and you'll be able to you'll be added to a WhatsApp group where all the details of this program will be available so that you can make an informed decision. Please do share the post with your colleagues and friends who are interested in learning Panchakarma. And yes, obviously, this is something every Ayurvedic doctor should learn. Next, also, I would like to add that, all the recordings of the program, this current Kerala Panchakarma will be there for 1 year. So that is what we are planning as of now. So let me go to the next speaker. We have Dr. Simi Ravindran, again, one of the faculties from our previous class. Dr. Simi Ravindran, Assistant Professor, Department of Panchakarma, Government Ayurveda College, Trippunithura, Kerala. She has completed her BAMS from Government Ayurveda College, Thiruvananthapuram, as a first rank holder under the University of Kerala in 2004. She racked up Vaidya KGK Panikkar Memorial Award for the Best Outgoing Ayurvedic Graduate of Kerala. She completed a MD in Panchakarma from Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum in 2009 and has joined as medical officer in Indian System of Medicine in the same year. After 9 years of service, she joined as assistant professor in the Government Ayurveda College, Kannur, and later continued in the Government Ayurveda College, Trivandrum, and further to current institution. She presented papers in national and international seminars. She is a teacher, clinician, and held several activities for popularizing Ayurveda. So over to Dr. Simi. Simi, madam, hello.
Hello, can you hear
Over
me?
to you. Yes,
Okay.
over to you.
Okay. I'm Dr. Simi, working as assistant professor in Department of Panchakarma, Government Ayurveda College, Trippunithura. And welcome to my topics. My topics are first, that is Ruksha Sweda. Ruksha Sweda, we can use Eganga Sarvanga as a OP procedure and as an IP procedure also. Very much commercial values there for Ruksha Swedas. It used as an prior to the Snehapana, Swedana, etc. as a Ruksha Karma and also as a local, as a single procedure also. The practical application is very significant in the case of Ruksha Sweda. That is, it can be used as a single with single churnas and also with compound medications, etc. So single churnas we are usually using that is wheat, that is godhuma, etc. for strengthening of the muscles, etc. And also for shashtiga, and for we are using that that sarshaba, tina, priyangu, etc. Sorry, priyangu, kulatham, and also karpasam, etc. Many types of cereals, wheats, grains, etc. And also pulses are used for we are using for Ruksha Sweda, and also compound medications like Kololathadi Churnam, as we are usually using Kololathadi Churnam, Jadamayadi Churnam, and also Nagaradi Churnam, and also special type of combinations we are discussing here. So it will be very useful for you people to design a kiri that is partly as by yourselves, etc. So after previous classes, many questions are there. Private questions are there for how to make a kiri from their own cereals in their areas, extra like that. And we will discuss special types of kiri, mentioning for that trigeminal neuralgia, and also for that visha, that is scorpion bite, etc. And also for some special type of kiri for calcaneal spar and extra varied type of disorders, etc. So my intention is to make able you people to make a design a kiri as yourself, etc. And also you can make your own kiris, this portals, etc. Your own portals, Ruksha Swedas as your design, and we can give it to your patients also as an OP management. So it is really very useful and commercially and economically very useful. So that will be our first chapter and first part. Next part, very important part, we are using that for Kerala specialty treatments, like that is one is Murtha Thaila, one of the Murtha Thaila, that is Shiro Vasti. Then next about the Tala Bodhishil, and the next is Shiro Piju, etc. These are very special specialty Kerala specialty treatments, especially mentioned for the Urdhva Chaturukada Vikaras, for and also for pediatric purposes. One about the Shiro Vasti, that's a very important treatment for Vata Vikaras, especially mentioned in the for demyelinating neuropathies, extrapyramidal lesions, and also like that of diseases, and for psychiatric disorders also too. Next one is about the Shiro Piju, etc. We are widely using as an OP management, and for and also and as IP management also, one of the Murtha Thailas we are specially practicing. Here we will discuss about the special Thailas mentioned for the purpose and the combination of the Thailas and special tricks, practical purposes for applying these Thailas and procedures, etc. We will discuss it with videos also. Next, one of the special treatments we are mentioned is Thala Podichil. Here Thala means head and Podichil means covering it like that. Here we make a paste with, medicated paste with churnas or some sort of herbs or plants extra like that. And we will prepare a specialist labor like that. We will make it fermented with some types of sour drugs like dhanya, amla, takra, etc. And also we are usually mixed with kashayas, and also we are usually mixed with milk, etc. according to the condition. And we applied over the head and cover it with Kamalapatra, lotus leaf, etc. and tie for 3 to 12 hours, etc. like that. We some of the this Talabochra especially means we are using some that is some of the specially mentioned here we are discussing about some Talabochra drugs for the vernix encephalopathy like condition, and so also pediatric conditions like benign seizures, etc. like. So it will be very useful for the some specific conditions. So Thalapodichil, Murtha, and also Kerala specialty, especially treatment that is Thalam. Various type of Thalam we are using locally in the Murtha, extra like that. And this all we are discussing. Welcome to the class. It will be very valuable. Thank you for the PNM family for selecting me as a faculty. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Simmi. Thank you for that. So any questions that you are having about the course, you can post in the chat, and we will take some of the questions according to the time, I'll give you some more details about the program after the next speaker. We have Dr. Prasad with us. So I'll be introducing Dr. Prasad before I hand it over to him. Dr. Vaidya M. Prasad, HOD Department of Shalakya-Tantra, Ashtanga Ayurveda Vidyapeenam, Kutanad, Palakkad, Kerala, has completed his BMS from Calicut University and MD in Shalakya-Tantra from the Kerala University. He is the director and chief physician of Sunetri Ayurveda Ashram, Thrissur. He studied the philosophy, basic principles, and practice of Ayurveda under Vaidya Bhushanam Padma Bhushan K. Raghavat Tirumpat Chalakudi for 21 years. Studied clinical Ayurveda under Padma Shri Dr. K. Rajagopalan Gopal Kollam. He has professional experience as principal Ashtanga Ayurveda Vidyapeenam, Kutanad, Palakkad, Kerala. Also as lecturer, reader, and professor in the Department of Shalakya-Tantra at Vishnu Ayurveda College, Shornur. He was the specialist medical officer Shalakya-Tantra, Sitaram Ayurveda Specialty Hospital, Thrissur for a year. He is working as on autism spectrum disorders from 2002 onwards, and has developed a new protocol for the management of autistic kids. This was present in the World Ayurveda Congress 2010 and Swadeshi Science Congress 2011. Also a part of an investigative team on consistency of Ayurvedic diagnosis, a research program to identify the Ayurvedic diagnostic practices and its consistency, conducted by AVP Research Foundation, Coimbatore. Currently working on developing effective Ayurvedic interventions in autism spectrum disorders. He is author of Ayurveda Padanathinuru Amukham, published by Tirumpat Foundation, co-author of Viruddaharam, Ayurvedathilum, and lots of other books also. Lots actually. I don't think I'll be able to cover it. So over to Dr. M. Prasad to introduce this topic. Sir, hello. Welcome to Pratikya once again, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam, for the larger than life introduction. Anyway, I'm really happy to be with Team Pratikya once again. And I'm very happy to know that the second edition of the online orientation program or certificate program on the Kerala Panchakarma is being conducted from the 10th of this month to the 8th of next month, if I understood it right. So I think as we had it in the last edition, definitely there will be a large number of takers from all parts of the world, I should say, because being an online program, there is no geographical restrictions or boundaries. So anybody can come and join, and it is going to be a big event, obviously. And I'll be in the program with the 3 sessions. Number 1, as the introduction to the application of Panchakarma in the background of understanding yoga, which I think will be something like a curtain raiser for the entire orientation program or the certificate course. Because understanding the yoga with the basic concepts of Tridosha Siddhanta, Prabhuda Dosha concept, Alpa Dosha concept, Madhyadosha concept. All these things are going to be the decisive factor as far as Panchakarma is concerned. Panchakarma many a times represents the Shodhana Chikitsa, but coming to the real practice, the term Panchakarma represents maybe nearly some 60 to 70 types of Kriyakramas spread across a series of specialities. And so even though we call it as Panchakarma, it is not limited to 5 procedures. And understanding the mechanism with which the right procedure, right Kriyakrama is selected and it is done, it is administered in the perfect manner. Actually, then only I think you can expect the exact outcome of the entire procedure. And the patient also will be benefited, because every time he or she is coming to an Ayurvedic facility seeking an expert treatment in Panchakarma, they are investing a lot in terms of money, time, and above all, expectations. So you have the responsibility to fulfill all these investments from the side of the patient. They should be satisfied in terms of the investment they make in terms of money, time, and expectations. So the decision making is very important. Otherwise, everything will be wasted. So in the first session, we will be discussing how to come to the right decisions, how to go for the real procedure, which we may start from the selection of Snehapana, different Shodhana Chikitsas, Svedana, or specialty treatments, many things. From the background or backdrop of understanding the disease process, Samprapti or the Roga in detail. So that will be the first session that I will be attending. Then we have one more in between, that is the principles and practice of Vamanam. Vamanam is supposed to be one of the major Shodhana Chikitsa, especially when compared with the many other procedures. Vamanam has got some sort of an inherent trend of developing some sort of complications sometimes. Meantime, on the other end, it can be practiced even as part of Swasthavritta, as part of Ritucharya, if your Desha and Kala permits, and the results are outstanding. So there are many things that we have to understand about the correct selection, application, and follow-up as far as the Vamanam is concerned. So that will be our second session. And later, in the last part of the entire program, we will have one more experience sharing program session called Kriyakrama in neurological diseases. So there we will be discussing some special disease patterns and the approaches that we have to depend on in selection again of the specific procedures. And we may discuss a couple of cases in that regard according to the time limits and other aspects of the session. And we will also plan, because we can plan to have detailed Q&A sessions at the end. So this is what I am supposed to deliver as part of this second edition of the Pradigna certificate program. Looking forward to meet you all in the sessions. And I congratulate Team Pradigna for this wonderful program. And best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shyam. Thank you, Dr. Rahul, and everybody behind the screen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to introduce my topics because I'll be taking Rakta Mokshna for you in this program. So, just want to introduce myself because a lot of you don't know me. I was working as an associate professor at Parshanakada Ayurveda Medical College, Kannur, Kerala. And I had done my BMS from Sri Jayendra Ayurveda College, Chennai. Did my MD from Alvaz Ayurveda Medical College, Modabadri, Karnataka. Currently doing my PhD at Shankaracharya University, Kaladi. Also, I'm MSc and MBA also. So I'll just introduce my topic directly. So this, what I'll be dealing is my mission in this session will be to give you all the tools that you need to start practicing Rakta Mokshna. Now, my father was one of the persons who was advocating Rakta Mokshna, and he's no more now, but he has taught a lot of students, and what he always says to me is that none of them are willing to get their hands dirty. So I would be urging all the participants to start practicing Rakta Mokshna, which is a wonderful treatment. And I just want to tell you this: once one of the teachers or one of the senior doctors asked me to name a treatment that with touching your heart, just name a treatment, and this is what I named Rakta Mokshna. And this is because I've been exposed to Rakta Mokshna since long, and my basic aim will be to give you all the theory part. We'll be dealing, and I will be showing each and every Rakta Mokshna procedures to you. The videos will be played to you that we have here, and we'll be discussing some of the cases. And even if we have to like last Panchakarma Kerala Panchakarma class, we had to extend my class for even further than 2 days. As you can see in the brochure, it is only 2 days, but we have extended it because we needed a little more time. So I'll be doing that. Even if we have we will be covering the entire part of Rakta Mokshna in this session. So that is my promise to you. And as the name suggests, Pradigna name suggests, this is the promise that we give you. We try to bring the best of the faculties to you, and we try to give you the best of what we can in this program. So all the faculties who are here are chosen carefully, and not just brought in just for the sake of bringing and loading people with theories. We have chosen them so that first of all, they should be able to be wholehearted to share the knowledge and share it with their experience. So they are experienced teachers also here. So we'll be taking a few of the questions in the chat, and then I'll give you some of the details. Slides, Dr. Rahul, on the screen, please. So the one of the questions is, will there be practical sessions done in this? Yes, there will be practical sessions. We will be having demo videos of all the procedures, and we'll be giving you all the things that is necessary for you to start the clinic. As Dr. Emya has told, there'll be a topic on setting up a Panchakarma clinic. If you are new to this, if you are new, just passed out BMS, or if you are in the final year of BMS, this will be beneficial for you, because in the future, if you want to start a Panchakarma theater, we have all the experts here who knows everything about this procedure, so that they can guide you properly. Do not buy anything unnecessary, because as you are starting, you will be having a cash crunch, and not to waste on unnecessary investments. So all the things that is necessary for the starting of that clinic, we will be sharing with you. So please do share this with your friends and colleagues who are starting this, or again in the final year of BMS. And the next question is, Professor Panchakarma going to be teachers only theoretically? No, not only theory. Theory will be included, because theory is necessary. We cannot do anything without theory. So theory will be there, and the practical session also will be demonstrated. Okay. And what will be the timing will be 8 to 10 o'clock. Can the certificate be shown as experience while applying for the job? Yes, you can, because this is also a course like any other course, any CMEs, any ROTPs you attend. This is also something that you have learned, so you can use that. So I just want to tell you the faculties of this program. Today we did not have Dr. Pradeep with us, because he was a bit busy. Others you have heard, and yes, we will be posting this video in the group, WhatsApp group, the link to which Dr. Rahul is posting in the chat. You can go there, you can join join that group, and you will get all the details about this course there. All the brochures, all the videos, all the things will be there. Curriculum also will be posted there, so that you can make an informed decision. Also, please support us by forwarding this to your friends and colleagues who will be interested in joining this course. Next slide, please. And this is the first time we are coming out with three payment options. We have usually we had only two options: either you're a registered practitioner or you're a UG student. So that was all we had. But we had a lot of PG students, asking us to do this. So we have three payment options now. One is, of course, for the registered practitioner, 4,999. We have special students discount for students UG 2,499 and PG 3,699. The courses will be starting on the course will be starting on the 10th of May, and we will be concluding it by around 9th of June. All the details will be posted in the chat. Next, please. Yeah, these are again. This is a site where you will find our details. You can reach us at pratiknya@gmail.com also. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah, this is a number. If you want to know more about this, if you have any concerns, if you have any questions, please suggestions, you can contact these numbers. Please take a screenshot of this so that you can share it with your friends also. Next, please. Yeah, just a thought for before we go. If you can dream it, you can do it. Next, please. These are the partners of Pratiknya. We have Dr. Anjana Unnikrishnan, Dr. Rahul Jayashankar, and myself. Next, please. So just our tag, saying keep learning and keep growing. So I thank each and every one of you who came here. Please do support us by sharing this to your friends. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank you. Bye.